Hi guys, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about episode 5 and episode 6 of season 1 of Daredevil, Born Again. Now, if you haven't seen the episodes, there will be spoilers in this review, so stop watching if you don't want to be spoiled. So, here's my review of episode 5 and episode 6 of season 1 of Daredevil, Born Again. I loved Yusuf in Miss Marvel and the Marvels, so I was happy to see him in this episode. And when he said that Kamala was in California visiting friends, it made me think that she could be visiting Bruno, since we know from Miss Marvel that Bruno got early admission into Caltech. But Yusuf didn't say friend. He said friends, so even though Kamala could be visiting Bruno, it also made me wonder if she's still recruiting people for the Young Avengers. Since the last time we saw her, she recruited Kate at the end of the Marvels. And she mentioned Ant-Man's daughter, and Cassie does live in San Francisco. I thought it was funny when Matt went back to the bank when he heard that the robbery was going on, and he acted like he had no idea what was going on. But when Matt told Yusuf to stall when one of the robbers took Yusuf to a vault that Yusuf said he could open but really couldn't, I was hoping that Yusuf wouldn't be killed. It was also noble of Matt when he and a woman were chosen to get to leave the bank, but Matt told the head robber Devlin to give his spot to the woman's husband. But Matt obviously wanted to stay at the bank so he could stop the robbers. I was surprised that Devlin believed that Matt was one of the other robbers when Matt imitated the robber that he knocked out, but it gave Matt some time to open the vault himself. And it was also funny when Yusuf asked Matt what kind of lawyer he was, and Matt said a really good one. You could also tell that Angie was nervous when she was trying to negotiate with Devlin, but luckily, none of the hostages were killed. It was nice of Matt to try and give Devlin an out by saying he would give him the diamond that the robbers came to the bank to get if they let all of the hostages go. But Devlin didn't listen, and the police stormed the bank. But Devlin was able to disguise himself as a police officer and leave the bank. But luckily, Matt was able to go after Devlin and stopped him from escaping. It was a twist to find out that Celine, who we thought was a hostage, was actually in on the robbery, and Devlin gave her what he thought was the diamond that Matt gave him and told her to give it to Luca, but it ended up being a piece of candy from the candy bowl on Yusuf's desk, and Yusuf found the diamond in the candy bowl. So I'm wondering what he's going to do with it. Most likely put it back into the vault, since Yusuf doesn't seem to be the type of person who would steal it. It also made me really happy when Yusuf invited Matt to have dinner with his family. And I really hope we get to see Matt meet Kamala. I felt sorry for Matt when he was praying and thinking about all the sad moments that have happened in the show so far. But it was nice to see Heather be concerned for Matt since he was a hostage at the bank. But Matt told Heather that he knew that he was going to be okay. And when Heather started talking about vigilantes and asked Matt if she could interview the Punisher or Daredevil, you could tell that Matt was surprised, but I'm wondering if it might be a step closer to Heather finding out that Matt is Daredevil. Also, when Luca was threatening Fisk, I couldn't help but think, considering the type of person Fisk is, that Luca was going to regret it. When Fisk was told that Muse's murals were made out of blood, I was wondering what he was going to do with that information. So when he said not to send out an alarm, since that would cause the serial killer to lay low, it made me think that that wasn't a good plan, since that means that more people will die. Also, Angela was smart when she said that before Hector was killed, he had been looking into all of the missing people, and he knew that something was going on. And even though Matt was trying to protect Angela when he told her not to get involved and let the police handle it, Angela didn't listen, which led her to be caught by Muse. And when that happened, I was hoping that she would be rescued quickly before it was too late. You could tell that it affected Fisk when he was unable to get support for his project from any of the people at the fundraiser. One of those people being Jack, who was engaged to Kate's mother Eleanor in Hawkeye. It's also clear that Fisk secretly eating more is catching up to him since his suit ripped while he was putting it on. Also, even though Cherry told Matt to let the police handle it, after Cherry told Matt about Muse, it was obvious that Matt wasn't going to listen. I mean, after hearing about a serial killer who uses the blood from his victims in his art, Matt wasn't going to let that go. It wasn't a surprise that Fisk recruited the police officers to go after Muse and made them members of his anti-vigilante task force. But I can't help but feel like this is going to be bad for Matt, since he finally decided to put his Daredevil suit back on after he found out that Angela hadn't come home yet, and he realized that Muse had taken her. But since this is the first time we've seen Matt in his Daredevil suit since episode 1, I was happy to see it. Muse's lair is really creepy, especially since he has bodies hanging from the ceiling. So I was hoping that Daredevil would be able to figure out where Muse was so he could save Angela in time. So it was a relief that he did. And at first, it looked like Daredevil killed Muse, but Muse was able to get up and run away. So we'll have to deal with more Muse in the future. It was pretty extreme when Fisk gave Adam an axe so he could fight him. But it was a creative choice to have it go back and forth between Daredevil and Muse fighting and Fisk and Adam fighting. And it also showed Matt and Fisk finally releasing the part of themselves that they have tried to keep hidden. Also, I know this happens in the comics, but it's clear with every scene that Angela's in that she's going to end up becoming the next White Tiger. I'm also wondering if Angela will find out that Matt is Daredevil, since she knows that Daredevil saved her, but she doesn't know that it's Matt. Thanks for watching, guys! If you saw the episodes, let me know in the comments what you thought about them. And if you want to see any of my previous Daredevil Born Again reviews, check out the playlist. And if you want to see my future Daredevil Born Again reviews or any of my other future videos, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!